Hello, everybody. Morning. Okay, we're from the University of Dubai. My name is Ariana Malik. This is Pardis Parhadi and Marwan Mohammed. We are going to present to you our idea, which is called BioCreate. So, what inspired us to choose BioCreate, and what was really the concept behind the idea? I had actually taken a course about biotechnology, and I discovered the potential for growth that could be created in various sectors, in various industries, and what we could focus on. My colleague here will talk to you more about it.
As we said, our business plan is based on biotechnology. So now I will show a video to show you about the concept behind the idea.
Let's go ahead without the video, and if you can get.
Good morning, everyone. So biotechnology is a growing science in the world today and hasn't received full attention in many countries yet. UAE is a prosperous country, and to be developing and nurturing biotechnology will help the country in so many ways, including a large increase to the GDP. BioCreate wants to develop a new way to benefit society. Biotechnology, that is a new way to society, one that is innovative and life-changing. Biotechnology doesn't have much awareness in this region yet. However, we are confident we will put an end to this trend. BioCreate hopes to create industrial hope and change lives. We're going to talk about the different sectors which would come under our institution and which we would emphasize on. We'll start off with red biotechnology, which includes all medical processes such as antibiotics or gene replacements. We would go on to white biology, which will be industrial processes in which we would find new ways to recycle or refine products, which would help the environment. Green biotechnology would be emphasized on agricultural processes in dealing with plants, weeds, crops, because in Dubai's environment there is a need for plants that can live in extreme conditions. So one goal of our institution would be to develop crops that would be able to adjust to the UAE's weather conditions. Bioinformatics will address the biological problems using computational techniques. And we'll also look at the marine and aquatic lifestyles, use them to study a pond such as algae, which is now being used as a method of fuel. 70% of our earth is filled with water, and Dubai is an island. I mean, it's surrounded by water. We'll use this to our advantage. We would study the marine life, use the algae, and see what we can come up with. Nanotechnology would be conducted on a molecular and atomic scale. So I've talked about the different sectors of what our institution would focus upon. And now to our core values. Our core values are improvements in life, research and development, and a creating atmosphere that aids in learning. Our business idea revolves around the creation of a biotechnology institution called Biotech. Nurturing biotechnology in UAE will not only help the community and the country, but it will help the world. Foreign and local investment will help minimize startup costs. And now my colleague will carry on.
Okay, as he already talked about the basic, what the idea of the business is, which is a biotechnology institution, which works to have work on research and development, works to train local talent. We hope to get students from various sectors. We hope to go to universities and talk to the students because many opportunities aren't here in the region for biotechnology. And not only biotechnology, nanotechnology, which is a part of it. We hope to better increase the science in the region and develop the talent. We hope to develop products by the research that we conduct to help the different sectors that he talked about, including agriculture, medicine, the white biotechnology, which is talking about medicine. And also the aquatic life, environment. So I will talk to you now about the feasibility study, how we're actually going to implement our idea. This is a short business description, just in a few words, that it's a research facility that works to develop products, teach, and produce. Okay, in the area, biotechnology is growing around the world. The science is growing, and what we hope to do is to take this opportunity right now to implement our idea, because now is the time in various industries for biotechnology to grow and the products that can be developed by the science. The technical feasibility, how are we gonna bring about the idea? First of all, it is important for us to choose a proper location. How are we gonna choose a location? We're planning on having a location in the free zone. The UAE government is actually an advocate of biotechnology, and they allow for 100% free foreign ownership with no taxes. So we plan on getting an area in the free zone where similar institutions are there who are working on sciences and things like that. We can develop partnerships with these facilities to exchange knowledge, to exchange information, staff, employees, to better develop our product and put it make it stand on its own feet. How are we going to actually get the investment for such a facility? There are many investors in the region who know that the potential that biotechnology has as a science and how it can actually create so much potential for profits if it was actually implemented in the various sectors. If you think about medicine, the vaccines that are created by medicine, the gene therapy, stem cells, all this stuff are growing, and many diseases, cures for diseases. We are planning to find these cures, make products, and sell them around the world. Imagine the potential for growth, the potential for money that could be created by this. This is just medicine. Now let's talk about agriculture. We're talking about crop yields. What are the problems facing the world right now? Poverty, drought. We're trying to have more crop yield in these countries. We are trying to benefit the community not just by one sector, but by many sectors. I talked to you about medicine, I talked to you about agriculture. Now let me talk to you about how we're going to benefit the environment. We're talking about solar panels. Nanotechnology works to create more efficient solar panels. Nanotechnology is actually decreasing the molecular size of something to 1 nanometer. So we are working not only on one sector, but medicine, environment, agriculture, and technology, informatics for computers, in anything you think about biotechnology's use. It has been used since prehistoric times and will continue to be used in the making of yogurt, in the making of bread. Biotechnology processes are used. Think about it in forensics, DNA examining who is the criminal, who is not. To create a more safer community for us, we have to use the biotechnology for DNA profiling. And how are we going to market our idea? We're going to market it to investors. We're going to talk to them. We're going to email them. We're going to develop partnerships with them. How are we going to do this? We're going to go to the institutions. We're going to pitch them our ideas. We're going to get investors. And we're going to go to universities. We're going to talk to the universities and talk to the students and say that we have such a facility. We are going to train you. We are going to develop you so you can make the science grow, so you can become the entrepreneur you want to be by biotechnology. The various sectors for growth that are available by the science. I already talked to you about this. Okay, the financial feasibility. Okay, so for such an institution, primarily we're going to talk about $5 million. Okay, we're going to get a location, and what is our main factor in terms of investment? We want to get investors, because we realize that investors are our main source for income. And the investors we are targeting are the ones who are in financial, who are already involved in biotechnology and know that there is the potential for such growth. So we're going to get the investors to invest in our company, but we ourselves are incurring $5 million because we are not just a small company, we are a research facility. We have laboratories. We're going to create laboratories for teaching, for production, for development. So we have to realize that these are our costs, and how are we going to overcome them? By investors, by investing. We're going to also teach students. Maybe we can get a little tuition fee from them to also decrease our costs. Returns on investments. So imagine that one product we create, one product, how it could change life, how much product could be created. These are some of the products that have been created by biotechnology. Nicavax is actually a vaccine which helps people stop smoking. Imagine, it's still undergoing research. Imagine the need for such a thing. So many people are trying to quit smoking. It's not easy. So imagine how much sales could be created by that. Biodegradable plastic. These are all environmentally things. We are thinking of things that benefit the community, okay? Biofuel, medicine, and vaccines, agriculture to help more crop yields. Okay, this is more our finances in details. For example, our rent, $1 million, primarily for the location and the building. The facilities, we're going to invest like $2 million to make our needed facilities, equipment, employees. And how are we going to get our employees? How are we going to get these talent? We're going to develop relationships with other institutions. We're going to tell them, come to us. We're going to train you. We are going to develop your talent. We are going to increase the biotechnology in the region, in the globe. These are miscellaneous costs, and it's 4.8 million, and our total budget was 5 million. And we're going to get investors. If we want to further expand, if we want to further grow, we're going to get investors to fund our other facilities that we plan on expanding on, and the different areas we plan to do. The prices we have in our financial statement include, they are realistic. They are not too high, they are not too low. They are feasible, they are real. And what we are trying to do, we are going to reduce these costs by investors, as I already mentioned. And it's not one area we are focusing. We are focusing on the whole to benefit the community, and not by one sector, by all. So we have to realize that such an investment, is it really worth it? It's definitely worth it. This idea will change lives. This plan will impact the community, the globe, the potential for sales it could be created. And let's say, how much time are we talking about to create such a facility? Let's say for 1 year, and then later on we can expand for more time. I talked about how it will affect our community, how it will affect our environment, how it will affect medicine, how it will affect different industries. My colleague here will continue to talk about the crop yields.
So, so yeah, I'll continue fast. As we see, there are the countries which use biotechnology crops, and they will increase and increase by passing the time. And they try to extend their activities to develop the biotechnology, because they will be more successful and more developed in the future. And biotechnology will be partner with the different companies regionally and internationally. And my friend.
Once more, how will BioCreate benefit the community? BioCreate nurtures biotechnology in the UAE. It develops beneficial products that change lives. It develops local talent training. It creates employment, and it works to make lives easier. It increases the exchange of knowledge and development in the region. It brings much recognition to this region, and it would use the profits to build similar facilities.
So as a whole, our idea is actually feasible, it is viable, it will benefit the community. Our investors will allow for the minimization of costs. We are looking at our vision. This is our vision, this is our idea, and if implemented, the impact that it could have on the globe, on the region, on the industries, and the potential for income, the return on our investment is huge. Right now is the opportunity to take this idea and implement it. Thank you very much.
We only have 30 minutes for questions. So,
That was a very energetic and
Thank you.
A-plus presentation, I must
Thank
say.
you.
My question now has to do with the idea. I see you had capital expenditures of $5 million. You keep talking about profits, but I'm not clear on how you generate revenues. And to me, the timeline before you have any saleable product would be 4 or 5 years of training in
Yes.
biotech, and you need operating funds to carry you through those 5 years.
The 1 year I said was for the development of the facility, but the time it will take, that is one of our challenges, which we hope to overcome by developing partnerships with other facilities.
They would provide the operating funds, is that
No,
what you're saying?
investors will provide the operating funds, but
And
the
building.
talent, we can, the exchange
But
of knowledge.
the cost for teachers and facility, the day-to-day
Uh,
operation.
Most of our funding we are going to take by investors. That is our main priority, to get the funds from investors and from students who are also want to
Tuition,
come
yeah.
and learn about it. Yes.
Thank you. Very quickly. First, you should run for politics. You're so persuasive.
Thank you.
Very assertive presentation. The concept again is I would say quite abstract as long as I've seen the presentation.
Okay.
It's, I mean, from an idealistic perspective, as well from a concept perspective, it's quite convincing. But I mean, coming on the ground from a practice perspective,
Okay.
right? You mentioned a little bit about how you're going to pitch with companies to get investments from those.
Yes.
Have you done some research to see the perception of those companies into biotechnology? I mean, what kind of companies today that are commercially driven would like to really invest in biotechnology, at least in the region? Have you done some research about this, the acceptance of the concept, et cetera, et
Yes,
cetera?
definitely. We are not only targeting the biotechnology facilities, but for example, the sectors themselves, like for example, medical centers, agricultural institutions, environmental institutions, we're targeting those ones themselves as to develop products, and we could also sell our patents. We realize that it'll take time to develop a product, but we can also sell our patents, and therefore get some money to later further our development and research.
Rania, do we have time?
1 minute.
Okay, so building on the first question, you're depending primarily on the investors basically to fund this project.
Yes.
If you're sitting in front of the financiers, what
Yes.
would be your opening statement? How would you convince them to come on board?
I will tell them the potential for growth that is in the industry, how much we can actually receive by implementing our idea, the importance of how it could, the scope of it actually in the different industries it is involved. That it is not, we're not only targeting ourselves to one thing, but rather we are thinking big. We are thinking out of the box and how we can actually get income from various directions. And that is what we are mainly going to tell the investors, that you're not going to get income from one thing. We are working to get income from everything. Thank you.
Nick, do you have a question?
I got time.
30 minutes, 30 seconds.
30 minutes.
30 seconds.
Obviously, representing a university here, how important do you think tertiary university institutions in this part of the world are paramount to this business concept, getting them on board?
Many of the educational facilities here don't have many science facilities. And what we're trying to do is especially in biotechnology and nanotechnology, you can't find many institutions regionally who teach about this. So we realized that by opening such a facility, we not only can not only teach individuals, train individuals, but we can also create some profit for ourselves in terms of production. So it is a teaching facility as well, and in terms of biotechnology, because we realize that many science facilities, teaching facilities here are not present in the region currently. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Unfortunately, the video did not work.